Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Ring.
The art of ballet has always been revered by, I think, pretty much everybody as a very elegant art form.
Yeah, a very refined,
Very serious.
elegant art form.
Yeah.
And it is. It definitely is. Honestly, pretty much any ballet that you watch, you can sort of get a glimpse of how beautiful this art form is. And that's part of the reason why it's so timeless and so beloved. However, those of us that know will know that there are a small handful of ballet steps in the ballet vocabulary that do not feel elegant in the slightest.
That's what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be sharing with you 5 ballet steps that are completely unserious.
Steps that are nearly impossible to dance whilst maintaining your composure because they're just that unserious and just so silly.
So if you're ready to appreciate the small selection of unseriousness in this very serious art form, then tap the like button and let's go. So, brief disclaimer before we get into the 5 unserious ballet steps. Just because these steps are in the unserious category, it doesn't mean that they can't be done in a very serious and professional and elegant looking way. These steps are just a list of steps that have the highest potential to make you feel, not necessarily look silly, but sometimes.
So yeah, take this with a grain of salt. With all love and respect to the steps, of course, we wouldn't laugh seeing them on the stage.
No,
because we dance them all the time.
Yeah, of course.
So anyway, this is for fun. Hope you enjoy. Let's go.
We have to get the obvious one out of the way first so that no one sues us for not including it in our list. And that is, of course, the gargouillade.
No one was surprised.
No one was surprised.
We've talked about gargouillade before in our hardest ballet steps video, which we did a long time ago.
Because it is one of the hardest steps to make look good.
It's so hard to make it look good. So for those of you that don't know what a gargouillade is, I think it's quite well known, quite infamous within the ballet realm. The gargouillade is a jump where you have to do a double run jump with one leg, then you jump and do a double run jump with the other leg, and then land in fifth. And that's all done in the air. And it's so hard to make it look good.
It's really, really hard, nearly impossible to make look good. And definitely impossible to make you feel beautiful and elegant while you're doing it. A beloved teacher of ours used to refer to gargouillade as the cat with wet feet step. Because that's literally how it looks and feels when you dance it.
When you're like walking out of the shower.
And you like shake one foot and you shake the other foot.
The gargouillade, honestly, it has the potential to look really, really nice.
Yeah, if it's danced by Lauren Cuthbertson in the Sugar Plum Fairy, then it looks angelic and beautiful.
It looks light and beautiful and so delicate and so intricate. But to master the gargouillade, I feel like it takes such a long time of looking bad before you can even start looking vaguely acceptable. It's a long, hard process of working with the gargouillade to make it look presentable on stage. So when you see one on the stage that looks good, just know there was probably a significant amount of work that went into it.
The next ballet step on our list is a tend l'ange. I'm sure there's lots of other names for this step, but at least in America, this is what we call it. This is the step that's seen in Giselle Act 2. And this step can be performed with a partner or without a partner.
Here's the thing with tend l'ange. When it's partnered, it looks ethereal and beautiful.
Very beautiful.
And so otherworldly because you have this beautiful arch in the back, right? And your feet are kind of out behind you. It literally
looks like you're floating.
It's that floating, flying posture, right?
Yeah.
And you just float, and because the partner's there, it's that slow-mo floating effect, right? So when it's partnered, it is absolutely exquisite.
However, when it's done solo,
it goes from looking like the lightest step on earth to somehow feeling so grounded and heavy. It's very hard to maintain that lightness. It has something to do with the way when you go back, you have to like arch back.
Yeah.
And then you have to correct yourself when you land.
It's not a comfortable step to do.
It feels a little bit like the fish when they're like out of water and they're like I feel like if you wanted that flying effect, I feel like pas de poisson is such a better option. Because for a pas de poisson, you're allowed to land on one foot.
That's probably
so you can have that second foot kind of
like
linger. The follow through. Where at the tend l'ange, you have to jump from 2 feet to 2 feet.
Yeah.
And so then it just it can be done well, but it's just very hard to do well. You know?
Yeah. The next ballet step on our list that is just so silly is the emboîté.
Emboîté.
Now there's actually multiple kinds of emboîtés, and all of them have the capacity to feel very, very silly when you're doing them because emboîtés by nature have a very upbeat, sort of peppy fun energy to them because you're moving your feet generally very quickly to the music.
But specifically, I feel like the ones that I feel like I just can't keep a straight face when I'm performing them.
Yeah.
It's just so funny. Is the attitude ones in
When
the
you're
front.
jumping, yeah.
It's like doing high knees,
but turned out with pointed feet.
It's the boink factor, you guys.
Seriously.
Because you're just like boink, boink, boink,
boink.
in time to the music.
And usually the music for those sections are very, very, very high energy, pretty hyped, very exciting. Usually it's a coda.
Yeah.
And
it's honestly so hard to feel serious and elegant when you're doing emboîtés. On stage, they look perfectly fine and elegant.
Oh, yes,
you
for
know?
sure.
Like entrance of the swans, the step arabesque, emboîté, and step arabesque.
in that
emboîté.
context, it looks pretty serious.
Yeah, in those on stage it looks fine,
Yeah.
but I feel like for me every time I did that, you can't do the entrance of the swans without thinking step arabesque, boink boink boink, and step arabesque, boink boink boink. You can't escape the boink. And
Yeah.
when it comes to emboîtés, you kind of just gotta embrace the boink, guys. Emboîtés are kind of like, it's more of a filler step.
It's definitely a filler step and like a step that's used often to change formations.
Yeah, to travel.
And like travel and move dancers on and off the stage. So it's very, very good for that. Petapa uses it a lot. Petapa loves the emboîtés. He uses it in pretty much all of his ballets.
Yeah, I will say for a filler step, they're quite tiring. To hold your chest up and keep breathing when you're doing an impromptu hit workout in the middle of your variation.
It's so hard, and not let the arms go like this with you.
Oh yeah, emboîtés. I feel like it's difficult and it kind of feels funny. It takes quite a bit of practice before it starts to look good.
Yeah.
If you're enjoying the video so far and you would like to help fund more unserious ballet content, then check out the Ballet Rain merch shop. Our Ballet Rain drinkware collection is getting quite expansive, you guys. We even have the dark and light counterparts.
See, they match.
They do match.
So if you have a best friend, a significant other, y'all can twin.
Oh my god! Couple mugs.
Couple mugs. Because couples that ballet nerd together stay together.
If you are looking for a way to make your morning coffee or tea a little bit more ballet nerdy, then look no further than the Ballet Rain merch shop. This shop will be linked above and below, and as always, thank you so much for your support.
The next step, I think it's very unserious and like not even remotely beautiful, at least on women. This one is the Italian changement. It's kind of a rarity, I feel like.
It is not performed a lot in repertoire.
No.
And I mean, as you can see, it's giving Jeremy Fisher.
It's giving Jeremy Fisher, you guys.
To be fair, I feel like everybody is aware of that.
Yeah.
And so they only put the Italian changement in repertoire where it would fit that context.
Like Colas.
Oh yeah, Colas, he
With
does it.
Mulgarde.
'Cause he's like energetic, farm boy energy. So you can imagine it's him just like hopping around being happy.
Yeah.
Same with, I think Puck does it a lot.
Puck does so many from the dream. I love Puck. And while yes, Italian changement is more of a men's step, like in repertoire, the step is usually reserved for just the men. But that's not to say that in class the women are exempt from this step at all.
Yeah.
We do have to practice Italian changement in class, and I have to say it's one of my least favorite steps to perform.
You can't feel serious.
You can't feel beautiful or serious. Doing like and like yeah, you use this position like with your feet up here a lot. Like
Yeah,
if you're doing
pas de
pas or if you're doing ballotte or
ballotte.
something. But the saving grace is that most of the time it's like 1 foot and it's not 2 feet together. You might hover for a little bit, but there's always that follow through that makes it a little bit more elegant. But Italian changement, you're taking off 2 feet. Whoop, straight up here, coming straight down. This is the step that just makes you question, like,
why?
Literally just why? But anyway, that is the Italian changement, one of my least favorite steps of all time. Not to say that the men can't do them, I love it when the men do it. It looks very aesthetic and very, like, you make you look very agile, you know? But to do it myself,
To perform ourselves.
yeah,
Not the thing.
it's not the vibe. The fifth and final step we're talking about today is probably one of my favorites out of this whole group. And this is the fast chugs and arabesque as seen in the Tchaikovsky pas women's variation and also Black Swan coda.
Oh, La Bayadere.
La Bayadere coda as well.
Yeah.
This is not to say that this step cannot be done in a very serious and elegant way. If you look at Giselle Act 2, the iconic one with the ghost just passing through the forest.
Yeah.
That one is breathtaking and ethereal and like gasping lastly.
The iconic swan ba 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 ba.
Yeah, that one's not bad at all.
That one
Like,
with
that's-
all the corps de ballet.
That's very, very serious.
Yeah.
However, when it's done at a faster pace, like Tchaikovsky part it, like after
yeah.
dun 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 Leviathan too.
Oh my god.
After you get past a certain point in the speed, it goes from a step that's very serious to something that's just like way silly.
Because already it's during the most head bop worthy section of the ballet.
Seriously.
And so you're just doing your chugs thing like da 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 da. It's so hard to do because you have to like suppress the urge to just head bop your way down the stage.
I know. Yeah, they're fun to do because it's like satisfying because you get to like have that
on the
connection
beat,
with that
yeah.
beat. Yeah, it's really fun. Although I have to say that when you do the one that Tchaikovsky part, when you go bum 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 bum, it feels like when you're trying to dribble a ball and it loses the momentum and you're just hammering it to the floor. Does it look serious? Maybe. For me, it doesn't. I don't know.
true.
Maybe it's because I've danced it.
Things always seem a little less serious once you
When you've
rehearse it
danced
for
it.
ages and ages.
Yes.
Although they definitely are probably the most serious step out of this list so far.
Definitely.
There are a lot more serious instances of arabesque chug than there are unserious instances.
Again, it's just the boink factor.
Yeah.
You just gotta
Embrace the
embrace
boink.
the boink.
So, hope you guys enjoyed hearing our perspective as dancers ourselves on what it feels like to dance some of these very unserious steps. Of course, from the stage perspective and from the audience perspective and in context of a full-length ballet, these steps obviously are completely deserving of their own respect and reverence, but we hope you guys found this amusing, and if you would like to hear more lists that we've made about ballet steps, we have a playlist linked above and below. We've done hardest ballet steps, our favorite ballet steps, low effort, high reward ballet steps.
And we even reacted to Miss Mojo's hardest ballet steps.
Yes. So please go check it out.
If you like the video, then like the video. And if you want to be a part of growing the ballet nerd community, then feel free to share this video with all of your dancer friends. And please let us know in the comments your list of unserious ballet steps so we can all have a little fun and laugh together.
Anyways, I think that is all from us for now. This is Ballet Rain signing off. Until the next video.
Bye. We're off to see.
Y'all, it's been stuck in our head for the past like 2 days.
Here's the words of a wizard, ever the wizard was.
We're off to see the wizard.
This list is not to say that these steps can never be done well.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Not look serious. Or wait, look not look.
And they won't.
And
wait,
look
hold up. Double
and
negative.
look not unserious. Is that wrong?
There's no way that was right. Today's a bit of an unserious.
It's so stuck in my head.
I don't even know how a single song, nay, a jingle,
Jingle, yeah.
can be that catchy.